give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
Hello and welcome everyone to Kansas Speedway. We are here for the championship race of the NASCAR Napa Cup Series, the technically last race of the NASCAR Napa Cup Series before it becomes the Pepsi Cup Series next season. Because around these parts we do sponsorship deals. It's the 10th race of the season. It's the Final Four. You could see the Final Four drivers right there. They are starting 1, 2, 3, 4 in order of points. It is time to see who comes away as the champ. Let's see what happens so far, though, heading into the season and how we got to this point. Anyways, then, here is how the season has gone so far. Earlier this year, back in February, we had the Daytona 500, as you would always expect to start off the season, in which Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from pole only led until turn 1 before Austin Cindric powered around the outside. Later on in the race, as things were finally setting down in the final stage, Cole Custer blew a tire, bringing out the caution from 4th position, and that 5-car breakaway up at the front disappeared. And on the restart, after another incident with Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott went up to block, triggering a bunch of stuff behind him, leading to the big one in which Harrison Burton flipped out of turn number 2 at Daytona in the Daytona 500. Wonder where else we've heard that before, as here's the final lap. Ross Chastain, big run out of turn number 4, takes the win over Bubba Wallace barely. He is one of your Championship 4 contenders. Here we head on to Bristol, in which another Final Four contender would end up winning. But first off, here Kyle Larson angry with Denny Hamlin wrecks him. Later on, chaos on the final lap. Kyle Busch climbing the wall. Harvick and Larson battling for the lead before eventually Larson would crash. That head-on sudden stop impact would have a missed Talladega. Josh Berry would fill in for him. This is after Josh Berry flipped at Talladega. Later on, Kurt Busch almost flipped, and here we are on the final lap. Daniel Suarez leading the race, but as he comes up to block, gets hit by Kyle Busch, flips into the catch fence, the car torn to bits, all the way down to the cockpit, essentially. He was okay and raced next time out here in Jeddah, as we see Daniel Ricciardo in the first race for the Project 44 car, featuring global international racing superstars. Daniel Ricciardo, in the team's first race, managed to win over Ross Chastain. That was in Jeddah. Here we are at FireLynx Motorsports Park, the second road course race in a row. Rain at the end of stage 1 caused a little bit of chaos, and Kyle Larson ended up taking the lead away from Chase Elliott to win the stage. On a later restart, Kyle Busch misses the corner, gets into William Byron, more chaos gets involved. Kevin Harvick jumped on top of somebody there at the end over the sausage curb. As here we are later, Chase Elliott here flips off of the bumper of Ryan Blaney when he got into the grass, and Martin Truex Jr. went on to win that race with a clean getaway on the overtime restart. He would win over Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain. As now we head on to the 3rd mile oval here at the FireLynx Motorsports Park. This pass with a lap and a half to go. Chase Elliott up the inside of Ross Chastain in the only caution-free race of the season. Although it did end under caution, it was technically caution-free because we did make it to the white flag. That was the reason for the caution. A bunch of cars seemingly wrecking there through 1 and 2. As now we head on to Atlanta. Chase Elliott leading after getting his first win just a race prior. But at the end of stage 2, the big one happens, collecting the majority of the field. A bunch of cars eliminated from the playoffs as a result. Another driver out of the playoffs, William Byron, after flipping, becoming, I believe, the 5th flip of the season in just 7 races. He's out of the playoffs. This is the final lap then we are coming to. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. leads. Now it's McDowell. 3 wide, 4 wide for the lead, heading down into the corner, but Bubba Wallace spins, causes a massive wreck. There was no caution yet until this incident. Corey LaJoie turned into the wall by Martin Truex Jr. That brought out the caution, giving Ricky Stenhouse the win and a spot in the playoffs. Here we are then at the final stage restart in Pocono, almost 4 wide for the lead. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, the two dominant drivers of the day, get shoved up into the wall, taking them out of contention almost. Took Busch out of contention. Harvick went on to battle for the race win with Austin Cindric. He would be taken out of contention on the final lap in turn number 1, though, when Austin Cindric made contact, wrecking him. This is North Wilkesboro, our most recent race. This crash here, collecting many championship favorites, eliminating, most critically, Chase Elliott from the playoffs. Right there, you saw Harrison Burton get eliminated after a crash with non-playoff driver Ryan Blaney. This big wreck on the restart took out Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch. They would both advance, and this wreck right here eliminated Denny Hamlin from the playoffs after Harvick was kind of fed up with Hamlin. Denny is not happy with Kevin, but Kevin Harvick went on to win, making our championship 4 set for today's race in Kansas. So now you all know how we got to this point in the championship with that season rundown. Here is today's national anthem. Next up, time for the command to start the engines. Here's Larry McReynolds.
The night time is the right time. Remember what I told all my drivers? Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Ever wondered how you can never miss a race of the NASCAR Napa Cup Series? Make sure to hit that red subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you will never miss a race. And if you do miss one, well, go to the playlist tab, scroll down, and you will see at the bottom all seasons of the NASCAR Napa Cup Series organized in order, so that way you could go back and watch the archive of each race. Make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy. Here we go then, 9 races down, 1 more to go to decide a champion here in 2022. It is time for the Kansas NASCAR Napa Cup Series Championship race as we head straight into the ones to watch here for today's race. Kevin Harvick starts on pole position after having such a great season. He's the driver to beat. He is the pole sitter. He is one of the championship 4 contenders. Can he seal the deal on a near perfect season? With Ross Chastain, though, on the front row, Daytona 500 champion, Chastain has quietly been running really good. We'll see if he can have something for Harvick. Kyle Busch as well, winless so far, but if everything went his way, he could have a couple by now. Kyle Busch also deserving, even though he doesn't have a win quite yet. And Austin Cindric, he's only here because he won at Pocono. But anyways, he's still been fast all throughout the season. Joey Logano as well, not in the playoffs. In fact, he is actually behind Cody Ware in the points. Sorry, Logano fans. But he's always been good at Kansas, so look out for him. Same could be said for Chase Elliott in that beautiful Mountain Dew paint scheme. We'll see what he can do. And rounding out the field, or the ones to watch rather, James Davidson in the 44 this week, just to round out the season. As we move on now to the starting lineup for today's race. APY League and NASCAR Fan 18 Forever lineup on the front row. The URL Racing Network alongside Earl Racing Network are in row 2. They are your Championship 4 contenders. In row 3 we have SMCS Racing Network and the TD Bank Cup Series. In row 4 we have CST31 and Jason Walsh. Behind them, Rodco Racing is alongside Bryce's Sports and Plushies in row 5, and in row 6 we have NASCAR's Fast Car alongside Ethan Morales. In row number 7 we have Mauricio Parada and I Am the One. Row 8 is Supercarter Jake alongside Cedarmont Racing Network. Row number 9 we have 84 Reenactments alongside Hurricane Michael, and in row number 10 we have the 44 of the Gaming Duo and the 20 of Arzako. Myra Ponce is alongside Illegible Abyss with Trevor Banana and The Crazy World in rows 11 and 12. Row 13, we have Luigi Plush Productions in Good Range Cup Series. Row 14 is Phoenix Uru in the NASCAR Nick 22. Row number 15, behind them, we have Lively M42 and Team FTINT Hub. And row 16, we have Skill 7 and Don Morris, and that'll round out today's field. If you guys like that aerial starting lineup over the pictures, please leave a comment telling me to do so maybe I could change it for next season. Anyways, no stages, so that way there aren't any mid-race points. And 25 laps, the highest finisher between Chastain, Harvick, Busch, and Cindric wins the championship as the green flag is out. We are racing for the final time here in 2022, and already here comes Kyle Busch up the inside entering turn number 1, trying to make something big happen. You want to be really careful. You could see Kyle Busch trying not to slide up into Kevin Harvick on just the opening lap. That allows Ross Chastain to take the lead away and pull ahead. He is clear. You can't win this championship on lap 1 unless you manage to wreck all 3 of the other contenders. But you could certainly lose it on lap 1. As Ross Chastain now pulls away with this lead. Only 2 laps in. Again, unlike in a normal race where we'd be 1/5 of the way through, about 1/4 of the way through by now. You know, we are, 1/13 of the way through? It's a very long race here today. 25 laps. I mean, you could tell because, video's 27 minutes long and only half of it is pre-race. So, yeah, 3 laps down now. Or rather, 2 laps down. We're on to lap number 3. Chastain still holding his own out in front of the field. Kyle Busch not too far back, still fighting away. Well, now he's broken clear and Harvick versus Cindric is happening. Remember Pocono when Cindric wrecked Harvick? Although it was accidental, he still wrecked Harvick, and Harvick was not happy about that. And now they're racing each other for 3rd place overall in the championship. If something happens to the one in the 18 in front, well, then they're racing for the championship, and one of the drivers is not happy with the other. Only 3.5 laps down. Very long race. Chastain still out in front. But Kyle Busch looks to be just a slight bit faster. You saw Kyle Busch just a slight bit there, peeking into the frame now, closing that gap a bit as this battle has really been starting to heat up. Harvick cannot find a way by Cindric. And you see here on board with Kyle Busch down the back straightaway. Busch is there. He gets a huge run using that outside line right up next to the wall. He's trying to take the lead from Chastain, who gets up high and slides a little bit through 3 and 4. Kyle Busch now takes the lead of the championship, coming around to complete lap 5. Only 1/5 of the way through this race, but still, this is good for Kyle Busch. Here comes Chastain back on the inside. Does not really have the dive bomb to get that move done. This run is approaching one of the longest runs in series history. Actually, at this point, it probably is because we've already passed what would be half of a normal race. Kyle Busch comes around. 6 laps now complete. We start the 7th here today. Good day so far for the 18 team, who has now dropped the one of Ross Chastain and is really starting to show his true pace. Got to watch those tires, though. It is 25 laps as well. We're going to have to talk about tires. Fuel obviously will not be an issue, but tires might be later on if the wear and degradation is high enough. Kyle Busch still leads him around. Ross Chastain holding on to 2nd. Cindric and Harvick still fighting for 3rd. Hamlin is trying to get by Kyle Larson, as you can see right there. Now, Hamlin's not happy with Harvick after Harvick intentionally wrecked him at North Wilkesboro last time out. So watch out for that as well. Because Hamlin, sorry, I just watched the F1 race today. Hamlin is, trying not to let Harvick win here, as we're almost done with 10 laps without a single caution so far, which again would be the full length of a race. Crazy to think. Chastain starting to close the gap back to Kyle Busch. Perhaps Busch is experiencing some tire deg now and is slowing the pace just a little bit, or he's just trying to manage that rather, as trouble Car around Cindric, front straightaway. Caution flies, and Austin Cindric is in the grass. He will be able to continue, it looks like. No major damage, but Austin Cindric, a Championship 4 contender, brings out the first yellow of the day off the bumper of Kevin Harvick. Cindric will get 4 fresh tires, but he's going to lose all of his track position in the process, and you would have to think that is championship over. So you could just see right there, Harvick just kind of didn't move. And again, Harvick has every right to hold that line, but Cindric was coming down. Harvick did have room to avoid that wreck. He just chose not to there. Not giving Cindric a break. Back to green, though, on lap 12. We are almost halfway. At the end of this lap, we will be halfway through this championship race. As Harvick works to the bottom, and Kyle Busch can't quite make anything happen. And Harvick and Hamlin side by side. Wouldn't expect anything, though, on a restart with so many cars behind. That would be stupid on Denny Hamlin's part to cause a huge wreck because he wants to get back at somebody who wrecked him last time out. That would just be wrong. Anyways, Chastain leads at the halfway point in this year's championship race. Trouble! Oh, contact! Harvick flipping through turn number 1. What is happening? Kyle Larson involved as well, and Harvick is out of the race. And the perfect season for Kevin Harvick with 3 wins thus far has come to a close prematurely, as he has crashed and tumbled through turn number 1, almost in the same fashion as Anthony Alfredo in the Xfinity race a couple of years ago. Kyle Larson as well. That was a hard shot to the outside wall off the bumper of Denny Hamlin as well. God, I sure hope that wasn't intentional, but I think... Let's have a look here. Can't really tell. Hamlin certainly stuffed it in there, but Harvick was coming down the track. It certainly was on purpose, but I don't think the intent there was to wreck. Everybody is okay after that accident. Harvick, though, mentally probably hurt after, losing a championship because someone's not happy with him. As we're back green once again, 10 laps to go. Still a long time left, and Hamlin going for the lead decides to think better of it. And now Eric Jones is taking him 3 wide for 3rd place back there, with Noah Gragson in the 42 also on the outside. Kyle Busch, though, powers to the lead. That 18 car looks strong. Chastain taking the outside. He'll have a big run out of 4, you would have to think. That run does not look to be developing. Might have gotten a bit high on exit there just after the onboard cut away. And that's given Kyle Busch a lot of clean air to play around with here, as we are on to the 17th lap of this race. Laps counting down rather quickly now with all these cautions getting in the way. You can see Chastain chasing after Kyle Busch. Not really able to do much at this given point in time. The pace is about equal. We'll see, because last run, of course, Kyle Busch started suffering from tire drag about 8 or 9 laps into the run. If that happens here, Ross Chastain could catch Kyle Busch with about 2 to 3 laps to go, maybe less. And we could have a late race battle for the championship on our hands if we stay green here. And I mean, we're getting far into this run now, so it's possible. Ross is going to try to do everything now. He just needs to keep those tires in check. Austin Cindric, we need to keep in mind, is the fastest car on track. If we do get another yellow, and he is inside the top 10, knocking on the door of a top 5 position here, potentially within 1 or 2 laps. He's too far back now to make anything happen, but who knows what could happen later on. Trouble back straight away. 1 car is around, just in front of Austin Cindric, I believe. More involved. Bubba Wallace is on the hood of somebody. It looks to be Alex Bowman. And Eric Almirola is also in the inside wall hard. Joey Logano, Corey LaJoie, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 88 involved. I saw William Byron as well, and it looks Martin Truex Jr. also gets a piece of this in a big crash coming out of turn number 2. Big hits for some of these guys. Bubba Wallace, Alex Bowman, you saw them. There's Martin Truex Jr., who I believe he got turned by somebody up into the outside wall, and that started this whole mess. He might have cleared himself. As you can see, Eric Almirola is out of the car, thankfully, after hitting that inside wall very hard at full speed, coming out of turn number 2. We are under caution once again for, I believe, this is the third time in today's race. And all the drivers are okay. Oh, it was the Stenhouse machine, the 88 car, that got loose. You can see it sliding up into William Byron. Byron came down, hooked the 19. That started this whole mess. Anybody else involved was part of a chain reaction there. As we will restart this race with 3 laps to go. This is it. This is for the championship. The 2 contenders right up there. Austin Cindric is in 7th. He might be a bit too far back without another caution. Green flag, though, is back in the air, and anything could still happen as Briscoe goes 3 wide up the inside of Jones and Gregson. Great run for those 3. Both are all running in the top 5 right now, rather, as they are still side by side for the lead of this championship. Can Chastain take it away? He's going to get a big run out of 4. He jumps down to the inside. Ross Chastain trying to take the lead of the championship. Can he do it? 2 laps to go. Contact made as they head down towards turn 1 once again. Ross Chastain leads the championship. Kyle Busch slowing. He's in the wall. Busch with the tire down. Cindric takes away 2nd. And Ross Chastain now leads this championship, coming around to the white flag. No caution for the 18. He gets out of the way, down to the bottom of the racetrack. That's the end of Kyle Busch's chances for a championship, and it's the white flag for Ross Chastain. Cindric closing in quickly. He might have a chance, but it doesn't look likely. What a season it's been. It started off with winning the biggest race, getting his first career win. Ross Chastain won the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Again, as I said earlier in pre-race, had a very silently good season, not really talked about, but as he comes out of turn 4, Ross Chastain will win the championship. What a race. Ross Chastain, for the first time ever, is a NASCAR Napa Cup Series champion. He beats Austin Cindric. Cindric had to go in that final corner, but was never really close enough to make it happen, but still comes away as a rookie with a runner-up finish in this championship. Not bad. Ross Chastain, though, just put on a fantastic race today, riding that outside line for most of, if not all of this race, and in the end, that was what worked. He was really saving his tires, and in the end, when it mattered, took that win away. Ross Chastain is your champion. Austin Cindric finishes 2nd in the race and the championship. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick both ended up DNFing. Kyle brought it to the garage there, coming to the white flag, just thought it's not worth it. As you could see the finishing results. Trevor Banana. That's Eric Jones finishing in 3rd. Noah Gragson finishing in 4th. 2 rookies in the top 5. Top 4 for today's race, with Chase Briscoe getting his best finish of the season, I believe, in P5. You can see Chase Elliott there down in 6th. James Davidson comes away with, 10th place there. Not bad results for them. Cody Ware almost in the top 20 after having a top 10 last time out in North Wilkesboro, pretty much because he was, one of, I believe, 9 drivers to actually survive that race. This race was a little less chaotic than that. Still had its moments, but a little less chaotic, as you can see the rest of the finishing order. Martin Truex Jr. DNF'd in that big crash. He's Ethan Morales. And then, of course, Kevin Harvick, APY League, out, finishing 31st out of 32 in this race, following that flip early on, bringing out the 2nd of the 3 cautions in today's race. 25 laps and only 3 cautions. Last time out in that, 15-lap race at Wilkesboro, it went to like 22 laps and had like 6 cautions or something like that, 3 overtimes. Anyways, here are some upcoming events. The Donkey Racing League on Minecraft. That's my racing league that I run on Minecraft. That'll be live on October 29th, the Halloween special. It's an oval race. Still, the laps and time to be determined. The NASCAR Championship, I managed to get my hands on privileges to that race. That will be November 8th, posted prior to the actual NASCAR Championship, like all NASCAR races, except for Daytona, because Rodco was a bit late for that one. No offense, Rodco, I'm not slandering you at all. The Donkey Racing League Season 4 opener is December 31st, New Year's Eve. Not sure what time, but it will be a night race. And the NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series Season 5 will begin in early to mid 2023. Hope you all enjoyed this season. Sign-ups for Season 5 should be coming over the winter at some point. Join my Discord server and you'll get, probably 5 minutes early access. Have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Goodbye.